Would you ever buy a house that already has tenants living in it? Well, that's exactly what we did, and it turned out to be one of the smartest moves in our plan to relocate to the Dominican Republic. Welcome to day 13 of my 30-day YouTube challenge, where I share a real story behind how our family is preparing to move from Miami to the Dominican Republic. Everything from buying property to planning to the emotional ups and downs along the way. Today, I'm breaking down what it's really like to buy a house that already has tenants in it and how we handle it, what we learned, and why this type of property can actually make your transition smoother when you're planning ahead like we are. Well, when we first bought our first villa that we are calling our panic house, it came with tenants living already there. Now, at first, that was we did not plan for that actually, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because the tenants in the property was already in their second year renting through the same brokerage that was selling the house, which made the transition way smoother and easier. Now, the same company that's managing the property, they actually in the Dominican Republic, or I will say, these property management actually attend the association meetings if needed. They also handle the repairs and they vet the tenants, just like the property management companies do right here in the USA. So right after we closed on the property, I met with the rental manager to go over how they handle everything. So they originally had a 12-month lease with the tenants already, because remember, they've been there for 2 years in the second year now. And they have a 12-month lease with a 5% annual increase in the rent. And since this is our backup house in case in the US, some change suddenly and like something happened that we have to go and move somewhere else, in our case, the Dominican Republic, we asked to adjust the lease from 1 year to the 6 months, but we're not going to increase the rent every 6 months. We kept the same 5% annual increase. Now, here's the key, guys. When I first wanted to tour the property, remember, I'm a real estate agent here in the USA. And here in the USA, it is really hard to sell property and tenants show you the property when they're living in it. We also have rental units here in the US. So, with that in mind, I asked we wanted to tour the properties with the tenants not hesitating. Now, that's because they're want they want to make it impossible for the new buyers to buy, hoping that they turn them away because they don't want to move. So what I did is I told my agent, hey, let them know that if we bought the property, we intend to keep them as tenants. And it worked. So that built a little trust and they allow us to build a home. I really, even though I've seen the outside and I went to look at the neighborhood, I really, really wanted to see the inside because I wanted to know if it really met their criteria in the pictures, like as far as the dimensions and if it was really like the layout that we wanted to see, because the pictures didn't really paint like as you walk through. I had an idea, but I wanted to ensure that my idea in my head was exactly what I was buying. So they let us see the property. They even let me record the property. Obviously, I'm not going to show that recording because I told her it was just for me to show my husband. They're still living in it. But after maybe they leave and we have the property back to ourselves, I'll be able to share that with you. No, no. Once we close, I met with the new management. I signed the new management agreement, and they outlined there their management fee, which is 10%. And here we also pay 10% in the US. As a matter of fact, one of our properties, we pay 11%. So they also let us know how the deposit work, because they had deposit that they've already had from the previous seller, which, remember, that was the tenant's deposit. So the seller does not keep it. It got transferred to us, and how the rental funds were going to be transferred. And also, we went over the new contracts with the tenants to make sure that everything aligns to what we agreed, the property management and and my husband, what we agreed on. And right now, they're currently renting the property for $472.50, and they pay this directly with the management company while we finalize our Dominican bank account. Now, regardless if I have a Dominican bank account or not, they will still pay directly with the management company. Remember, you want to distance yourself from the tenants because if anything comes, like they don't pay, anything that happens, then the management, which is the people that have the contract with them, I have the contract with the management company, not with the tenants. The tenants have the contract with the management company. So the management company has legality to take actions for something that they do or don't do. So they will continue to pay the management company, and then the management company will pay us in the bank account that we give them. Now, the management company has a bank account with a specific bank. I mean, an account with a specific bank. If I were to have a bank account with that bank, that transfer will be easy. If I have a different bank account, they will then charge us $5 transfer fee. But I will cover the bank account for the Dominican Republic in another video. Now, what I do want to take away for this video is that buying house with tenants can actually work in your favor, guys, but only if it's managed well and the communication is clear. I am telling you, this is the key. I have been renting properties since 2004, and I will tell you that the management company could make or break the deal, or at least how you feel about managing or having property, especially when you're overseas. Because the reason this is a great idea, since you are not moving right away, this provides instant income, stability, and less vacancy, like stress vacancy. Because worse than having a property vacant is having a family member, a friend living in your property, because now you're tying emotions with business and you don't want to do that. And remember, guys, this is our panic house. You don't want to put somebody in there that is going to give you a hard time to come back, to get out, and then now it's different problems. So I'd rather have it managed by a professional. But what I need you to understand that the con the contract, the management instruction gives you can make everyone is in the same page before closing. That's the key. Now, that's how we handle buying property and with tenants already living in it. Now, it was a perfect situation. I'm not going to say every situation is going to be like this. It just happened to be how it was for us. And honestly, as long as it is as it was, I will do it again. So if you're planning to invest or relocate to the Dominican Republic, don't be afraid to explore this option. Just make sure that you are marking all of the above. And remember, guys, I'm not a lawyer or a financial advisor. I'm just sharing our real stories, our real experience, and what made to hopefully make your journey a little easier. Tomorrow on day 14, I'll be sharing how we open our Dominican bank account, what documents they asked for, how long it took, and what I wish I knew before starting. And remember, guys, if you want the 7-step property buyers checklist, email me at info@livingindrguide.com with the subject 7 steps, and I will send it right into your inbox. And don't forget to like and most importantly, subscribe so that you can follow while I share our experience to move into the Dominican Republic. See you tomorrow. Bye.